Mutabaruka.
Here's the reality. The image of a white Jesus has been used to justify enslavement, conquest, colonialism, the genocide of indigenous peoples. There are literally millions of human beings whose lives have been snuffed out by people who conquered under the banner of a white god. That is a far more significant problem than whether a black writer in 2013 suggests somewhat humorously, but perhaps seriously, that we should change Santa to a penguin. No one's going to die because of that iconography. The white Jesus, white God imagery has literally resulted in death. That's something folks ought to deal with. What Megyn Kelly said was very simply, quote, Santa is white, end of quote, and so is Jesus. So I think the real issue is, if you want to make a joke about Santa's whiteness, here's a way to do it that would not presume white normalcy or that white is the norm. You could say, for instance, and I would, that if there were Santa, he'd have to be white because no black man could break into millions of homes even if he was bearing presents and not be shot by some neighborhood watch captain. That's a way to be funny, but Fox News would never do that because that would presume that they had to admit racial profiling and racism were real. So there's that. I think the real issue is that she made a statement of fact, not for her own opinion, but fact. There's a difference between believing in Santa and believing in Jesus or the Buddha. Buddha did not come from Kansas. Jesus was not born in a manger in central Pennsylvania. He was a man of color, and the fact that we have represented him for centuries, literally as a white man, speaks to the entire history of white supremacy. We can act like it didn't happen. We can make it the punchline of a joke, but the reality is this iconography, Jesus more so than Santa, I agree with Mel here, Jesus more so than Santa is a real problem. There's a reason we've represented these icons as white. It's not a coincidence that we've done that.
Okay, do you think there's something inherently wrong? I understand you saying that a white Jesus has been used to do horrible things, but
here's the difference, and Reza is right. No, Reza's right, but the difference is that the power of others to make Jesus or to make Christ as they view him has never come close to the power of the European power to make Jesus white. In other words, black folks can think Jesus is black and view Christ as black, but at the end of the day, the image that has been used to dominate Christianity in this world and on this planet is the white image. So therefore, you can believe, you can think Jesus looks like whatever you want or that Christ looks like whatever you want. Ultimately, though, there is such a thing as power, and it's not equitable, and so if certain people have been able to impose their image of the Christ, of the Savior on others, or God, or Adam and Eve, the first human beings ostensibly as white people, to believe that that doesn't have an effect is to believe that advertising doesn't have an effect. It's to believe that companies that spend billions of dollars don't actually sell you stuff based on the images they use, which is nonsense.
Yeah, the time is 10:30 and you are on the cutting edge. This is the cutting edge on IRFM. We're there with you on next Wednesday night. I kind of get disoriented now, given that. Yeah, disoriented. Totally disoriented. So if you hear me say, easy skank, you don't feel no way. And if you hear me say, stepping wheels, I don't feel no way. You understand? Because I am disoriented. Yes. Anyway, we want to play this. What are
you getting your wife for Christmas this year?
I don't celebrate Christmas.
Why not?
Because it's against my religious beliefs.
Are you Jewish?
No.
Are you a Muslim?
No.
Jehovah's Witness?
No.
Buddhist?
No.
Hindu?
No.
Baha'i?
No.
Worldwide Church of God?
No.
Seventh-day Adventist?
No.
Catholic?
No.
Protestant?
No.
Pentecostal?
No.
Unitarian?
No.
Atheist?
No.
Are you a member of the Church of Satan?
No.
Well then, what religion are you?
I'm a Christian. I'm a member of a historic Sovereign Grace Baptist Church.
So you don't believe in the birth of Christ then?
Of course I do. I'm a Christian, remember?
Why don't you celebrate the birth of Christ then?
What does the birth of Christ have to do with celebrating Christmas?
Christmas is the celebration of the birth of Christ.
Really? Where does it say in the Bible that Jesus was born on December 25th?
It doesn't.
When does the Bible say Jesus was born?
The Bible does not say, but all the evidence in the Bible points to a September birth of Christ.
So why would you celebrate his birth on December 25th if he was born in September?
I don't know. I guess because that's the way the world does it.
Why do they celebrate it on December 25th?
because the Catholic Church renamed a pagan sun-worshipping holiday that was already celebrated on December 25th. The Catholic Encyclopedia says, the well-known solar feast of Natalis Solis Invicti Nativity of the Unconquered Sun celebrated on 25th of December, has a strong claim on the responsibility for our December date. The World Book Encyclopedia says, in AD 354, Pope Tiberius of Rome ordered the people to celebrate on December 25th. He probably chose this date because the people of Rome already observed it as the feast of Saturn, celebrating the birthday of the sun. Christians honored Christ, instead of Saturn, as the light of the world.
So people celebrate Christmas on December 25th because it was a pagan sun-worshipping holiday that the Catholic Church incorporated into Catholicism and changed its name to Christmas in order to convert the pagans to Catholicism?
Yes, that's right.
Do you now understand why I don't celebrate this Christianized pagan holiday?
No. What's wrong with transforming a pagan sun-worshipping holiday into a celebration of the birth of Christ and then incorporating it into God's religion?
The problem with it is that God hates it and forbids such practices in the Bible.
Where does the Bible say that?
Just before Israel entered the land of Canaan, God warned them to not look at the way those pagan nations worshipped their gods and worship God likewise. God said in Deuteronomy 12:29 through 32, when the Lord thy God shall cut off the nations from before thee, whither thou goest to possess them, and thou succeedest them, and dwellest in their land, take heed to thyself that thou be not snared by following them, after that they be destroyed from before thee, and that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise. Thou shalt not do so unto the Lord thy God. For every abomination to the Lord, which he hateth, have they done unto their gods, for even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire to their gods. What thing soever I command you, observe to do it, thou shalt not add thereto, nor diminish from it. This is exactly what the Catholic Church did when they looked at how the pagans worshipped their gods and decided to worship God likewise with merrymaking, gift-giving, bringing green trees, holly, mistletoe, and Yule logs into their homes, and taking time off of work. God says don't do that.
But those things are fun and harmless, right?
God doesn't think so. God says that pagan worship like the holidays of Saturnalia and Natalis Solis Invicti are devil worship. The Bible says in 1 Corinthians 10:20 through 21, but I say, that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils, and not to God. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord's table, and of the table of devils. To celebrate Saturnalia is to have fellowship with devils. To celebrate Christmas, which is Saturnalia under a different name, is to have fellowship with devils.
Surely God would not care if I put a Christmas tree in my house, would he?
Yes, he does. The Bible says in Jeremiah 10:2 through 4, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman, with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold, they fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. Bringing trees into one's house and decorating them with silver and gold, can you say tinsel is what the heathen do? God says don't do that.
But most Christians celebrate Christmas, so that must mean God is okay with it, right?
Where in the Bible does it command us to celebrate Christmas?
It doesn't.
Where in the Bible does it even command us to celebrate the birth of Christ?
It doesn't.
Where in the Bible does it record the apostles and early Christians celebrating Christmas or the birth of Christ?
Nowhere.
Did you know that historically Christians did not celebrate Christmas up until a couple of 100 years ago because it was a Catholic pagan holiday?
No.
Did you know that a law was passed making it illegal to celebrate Christmas in the colony of Massachusetts in 1659?
No. I will have to Google that.
So, you admit that Christmas is a pagan holiday which the Catholic Church changed the name of and incorporated into Catholicism? And you now understand that God forbids such things?
Yes.
So, you admit that God nowhere in the Bible commands us to celebrate Christmas?
Yes.
And you admit that none of the apostles or early Christians celebrated Christmas in the Bible?
Yes.
And you understand that Christmas wasn't celebrated by Christians throughout most of history because they knew it was a Catholic pagan holiday?
Yes.
So now do you understand why I don't celebrate Christmas?
Yes. Thank you for converting me from the error of my pagan ways.
REFM!
All of us in this house and beyond who've worked tirelessly for decades in the hope of lasting peace in the Middle East, yesterday's decision took an absolute hammer blow to those hopes. There is a reason that before yesterday no other country would locate their embassy in Jerusalem and no other major country would recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Because to do either thing, let alone both at the same time, confers legitimacy on Israel's occupation of East Jerusalem, an occupation with no basis in international law and which is a permanent barrier to achieving the political settlement that we all wish. The sheer recklessness of that decision needs no debate. Donald Trump is not crying fire in a crowded theatre. He is deliberately setting fire to the theatre. And then he has the unbelievable cheek to claim that he's doing this to move forward the peace process, when in reality he is setting it back decades. And as usual, Mr. Speaker, as with the Muslim ban, the Paris Agreement and the Iran deal, the question for the UK government is twofold. First, what are they going to do about this mess? With Donald Trump willfully deserting America's role as peace broker between Israel and Palestine, how will we work with our other allies to fill that void? And second and finally, Mr. Speaker, when will the government admit that they have got their strategy with Donald Trump totally wrong? They told us that holding his hand and hugging him close, indulging him with the offer of a state visit, was the best way of wielding influence and shaping his policies. But on Jerusalem, as on so many other issues before, they have been made to look like fools, weak, ignored, and entirely without influence. When will they realize that bending over for a bully only encourages that behavior, when what our country needs and what the world needs is a British government prepared to stand up to him?
This is the Cutting Edge on IRFM. Time for Pat Clark, Jamaica Roots and Culture.
Welcome to Jamaican Roots and Culture. I'm Pat Clark. For many Jamaicans and others of African descent, the celebration of Christmas offers very little spiritual fulfillment, especially due to the missold story of Christ and the misrepresentations of their ancestors in the Bible. In search of something to fill this void, numerous African descendants have embraced a holiday celebration known as Kwanzaa, observed between December 26 and January 1. Kwanzaa is not a religious holiday, nor is it meant to replace Christmas, but was introduced to the conscious minds of African descendants as an alternative concept to add to their already practiced religions, such as Christianity or Islam. A set of spiritual principles launched in 1966 by Dr. Maulana Ron Karenga, Kwanzaa has now captured the hearts of more than 20 million African descendants across the diaspora. This tradition has also reached the shores of Jamaica. Karenga's inspiration for Kwanzaa was sparked during segregated America. People of African descent were coming together in unity to address the historical inequities, injustices, and racist institutions. There was a new sense of inherent power and dignity that was being expressed within the African American communities across the United States. This new sense was manifesting as a call for human rights, civil rights, prisoner rights, and most significantly, as Black Power. A known activist, founder of the Black Power Group United States organization, Dr. Karenga, sought to design a celebration to honor the values of ancient African cultures while promoting positive African imagery in order to lift the hearts of African descendants who are striving for progress. Modeled on the African harvest festivals, which have been practiced across Africa for millenniums, the name Kwanzaa derives from the Swahili phrase Matunda ya Kwanza, meaning first fruits of the harvest. Swahili was selected as the spoken language of Kwanzaa because it is seen as a universal African dialect. Several nations of East Africa speak Swahili, and yet it is not a colonial language such as English or French, thereby representing itself as the best choice for a modern Pan-African language that could speak to a Pan-African vision. The teachings and philosophies of Kwanzaa mark the winter solstice and have been around since Kemet or ancient African days. Originally known as Karasmaat Kwanzaa, which builds upon the ancient traditions and wisdom practiced by our ancestors, Kwanzaa is an invitation to experience greater understanding, wisdom, and growth, offering a true unity and expression within the family, community, and humanity. In its traditional state, Kwanzaa is observed as a 12-day festival, observance starting from December 21, hence the term 12 Days of Christmas. The 12 days of Karasmaat Kwanzaa are December 21, symbolizing Ma'at or balance, December 22, symbolizing Set or desire, December 23, symbolizing Ashur or true self, December 24, or Set or love. December 25th marks the day when Hiru was born. December 26, Umoja. December 26, Umoja, symbolizing unity. December 27, Kujika Kulea, which is self-determination. December 28 is Ujima, meaning cooperation. December 29 symbolizes Ujamaa, or family. December 30 is Nia, or purpose. And December 31st is Kumba, or creativity. Karenga's principles of Kwanzaa, however, focuses on a 7-day observation starting on December 26. Kwanzaa celebrations begin by decorating the home or the main room with the symbols of Kwanzaa. Put a green tablecloth over a centrally located table. On top of the table, place a straw or woven mat called a mkeke, which symbolizes the historical foundation of African ancestry. On the mat, place fruits or crops in a bowl representing the community's productivity. Use a kinara or a 7-pronged candle which symbolizes the ancestors. The 7 candles represent the 7 core principles of Kwanzaa. 3 candles on the left are red, representing struggle. 3 on the right are green, representing hope. And the one in the center is black, signifying Africans or those who draw their heritage from Africa. Kwanzaa can be celebrated in a variety of ways. The activities can include drumming and musical selections, reading of African Pledge and the principles of blackness, reflections on the Pan-African colors, and discussions of African principles of the day or recitation of chapters in African history. The candle lighting ritual of the Kinara is an important part of Kwanzaa and also is the feast, which is held on the final or 7th day. The Kwanzaa feast is a very special event that brings everyone closer to their African roots. It is traditionally held on December 31st and is a collective and cooperative effort. And now, to end Jamaican roots and culture, here's our famous quotation from the Black diaspora. It is impossible to pretend that you are not heir to, and therefore, however, inadequately or unwillingly responsible to, and for the time and place that gave you life. The words of James Baldwin. For Jamaican Roots and Culture, I'm Pat Clark.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful research from Kwanzaa. Can't say know what Kwanzaa is after listening to that. You know, we might have to play it every day from now until the first day, which is the 26th, which actually is my birthday too. So, yeah, we might have to play that one continuously. Muhammad Ali, the late great Muhammad Ali. Listen.
I always wondered when I went to church on Sundays. I've always been one to, I'm not just a boxer. I do a lot of reading, a lot of studying. I ask questions. I travel these countries. I watch how their people live, and I learn. And I always ask my mother, I said, Mother, how come is everything white? I said, why is Jesus white with blonde hair and blue eyes? Why is the Lord's Supper all white men? Angels are white. Pope, and Mary and even the angels. I said, Mother, when we die, do we go to heaven? She said, naturally we go to heaven. I said, well, what happened to all the black angels they took the pictures? I said, oh, I know. If the white folks was in heaven too, then the black angels were in the kitchen preparing the milk and honey. I said, listen, you quit saying that, boy. I was always curious, and I always wondered why I had to die to go to heaven. Why I couldn't have pretty cars and good money and nice homes now? Why do I have to wait till I die to get milk and honey? And I said, Mama, I don't want no milk and honey. I like steaks and I said, milk and honey is a laxative anyway. Do they have a lot of bathrooms in heaven? So anyway, I was always curious. I always wondered why. You know, Tarzan is the king of the jungle in Africa. He was white. White man. I saw this white man swinging around Africa with a diaper on, hollering, oh! Do you all see Tarzan over here?
Right.
Tarzan? And all the Africans, he's beating them up and breaking the lion's jaw. And here's Tarzan talking to the animals, and the Africans been there for centuries, and he can't talk to the animals. Only Tarzan can talk to the animals. I always wondered why Miss America was always white. All the beautiful brown women in America, beautiful suntans, beautiful shapes, all type complexions, but she always was white. And Miss World was always white. And Miss Universe was always white. And then they got some stuff called White House cigars, White Swan soap, King White soap, White Cloud tissue paper, White Rain hair rinse, White Tornado flow wax. Everything was white. And the angel food cake was the white cake, and the devil food cake was the chocolate cake. I said, Mama, why is everything white? I always wondered, you know, and the president lived in the White House. And Mary had a little lamb, his feet as white as snow and Snow White. And everything was white. Santa Claus was white. And everything bad was black. The little ugly duckling was a black duck, and the black cat was the bad luck. And if I threaten you, I'm going to blackmail you. I said, Mama, why don't they call it white mail? They lied too. I was always curious. And then this is when I knew something was wrong. Won the Olympic gold medal in Rome, Italy. Olympic champion, the Russian standing right here, and the Pole right here. Is Poland considered a communist country?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm defeating America's so-called threats or enemies. And the flag is going, ton, 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 ton. I'm standing so proud. Ton, 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 ton. And I done whooped the world for America. Ton, 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 ton. I took my gold medal, thought I'd invented something. I said, man, I know I'm going to get my people freedom there. I'm the champion of the whole world, the Olympic champion. I know I can eat downtown now. And I went downtown that day, had my big old medal on, and went to restaurants. At that time, black things wasn't integrated. The black folks couldn't eat downtown. And I went downtown, I sat down, and I said, you know, a cup of coffee, hot dog. The lady said, we don't serve Negroes. I was so mad. I said, I don't eat them either. Just give me a cup of hot dog. You know, I said, I'm the Olympic gold medal. 3 days ago, I fought for this country in Rome. I won the gold medal, and I'm going to eat. The manager, I heard her tell the manager, and he said, well, I'm not the man. Now he's got to go out. Anyway, I didn't raise no, they put me out. And I had to leave that restaurant in my hometown where I went to church and served in their Christianity and fought, and daddy fought in all the wars. Just wanted the gold medal and couldn't eat downtown. I said, something's wrong. And from then on, I've been a Muslim.
Yes, I was going to ask you about what attracted you to it.
Cutting edge, collage. We call this program Collage of Blackness. Tonight is the theme, Collage of Blackness. But, you know, the Native Americans, we hear people talk about things where America do, and you hear them complain every day about what other people do in a film country. I mean, where other people do, not in America, but in the country where the people them come from, and them evil attack countries who don't toe them line of democracy and them thing there. But you have a group of people, you know, in America where it's the original people, the so-called Native Americans, them, We have a version named John Trudell, late John Trudell, where we have the opportunity and honor quite a few times to read poetry with him and also talk on forums in California. In past a couple years ago. We want to play this poem by John Trudell, Native American John Trudell. For those of you who know him from in Canada, for those of you who know him from in California, John Trudell, Cry Your Tears. Listen. Yeah, this is the Cutting Edge on RFM. We're calling this Collage of Blackness. I don't know if I mentioned it already and actually show the proof, but if I should tell a whole heap of ones out, they say the American national anthem promote the killing of Africans. A whole heap of people that say, Muta, where you get that from? Where you get it from the anthem itself. If you read the anthem, it's in the entirety, not just the first verse. Read its entirety, you will see where it promotes the killing of Africans. And we're going to play this clip to really strengthen what we just said. Here goes.
I just wanted to share something with you. Sean King, who writes for the New York Daily News and who I follow on Twitter, and if you don't follow Sean King on Twitter, do so. Sean King is brilliant. And he writes regularly for the New York Daily News. And he wrote this piece called Why I'll Never Stand Again for the Star-Spangled Banner. And I just want to share 3 paragraphs from Sean's piece about this. He says, first off, the song, he's talking about the Star-Spangled Banner. He says, first off, the song, which is originally written as a poem, didn't become our national anthem until 1931, which was 117 years after Francis Scott Key wrote it. Most of us have no true idea what in the hell we've been hearing or singing all these years. But as it turns out, Key's full poem actually has a 3rd stanza, which few of us have ever heard. In it, he openly celebrates the murder of slaves. Yes, really. It goes like this. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave, and the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph doth wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. And then Sean King goes on to explain what that means. He says, well, it's always been known that the song was written during American slavery and that when those words about this nation being the land of the free didn't apply to the millions who had been held in bondage, few of us had any idea that the song itself was rooted in the celebration of slavery and the murder of Africans in America who were being hired by the British military to give them strength, not only in the War of 1812, but in the Battle of Fort McHenry in 1814. These black men were called the Corps of Colonial Marines, and they served valiantly for the British military. And Francis Scott Key despised them. He was glad to see them experience terror and death in war, to the point that he wrote a poem about it, and that poem is now our national anthem. While I fundamentally reject the notion that anyone who owned other human beings was either good, moral, or decent, Francis Scott Key left absolutely no doubt that he was a stone-cold bigot. He came from generations of plantation-owning bigots. Yeah, I don't call them plantations anymore. I call them concentration camps. But anyhow, they got wealthy off of it. Key, as district attorney of Washington, fought for slavery and against abolitionists every chance he got. Even when Africans in D.C. were injured or murdered, Francis Scott Key stood strong against justice for them. He openly spoke racist words against Africans in America. Key said that they were, quote, a distinct and inferior race of people which all experience proves to be the greatest evil that afflicts a community, end quote. This is in the context of Colin Kaepernick's refusal to stand for the Star-Spangled Banner. Sean King nails it, as Sean King so often does. And it's just a brilliant piece. Check it out. Okay, the British.
Yes, you hear it on the cutting edge. Tell anybody say you hear that on the cutting edge, that the Star-Spangled Banner, which is known as the national anthem of America, promote the killing of African people. And if you want to see more, Google the lyrics. Google the lyrics to that poem. Google the lyrics to that anthem and read it for yourself. This is the cutting edge on IRFM.
So what is not offensive to white America and to Trump? Well, the enslavement of Africans obviously was not that offensive to white America, because it was here for so long. The systematic genocide of indigenous people was not offensive to white America. They supported it, just like they supported the enslavement of Africans. They supported Jim Crow laws for so long. They supported redlining. They embraced the KKK. They still embrace the KKK. They do. It's a fact. It's the only terrorist group that has been allowed to operate in our country is the KKK. Why? Because they're a white terrorist group. Now, why would a nation allow a white terrorist group to operate? Because our nation is also a white terrorist group. So white America has never, ever, ever, ever been offended by any sort of injustice, including murder, today or yesterday. Tamir Rice, the little boy, playing with a plastic gun. The policeman rode up on him as fast as he could in the park without asking any questions, shot him dead in the park. A little boy with a little plastic gun, innocently playing in the park. The white policeman rode up, shot him dead in the park. Was white America offended? No. The mass majority of white America was not offended. When Michael Brown was executed, white America was not offended. They were quiet. They were silent. All the lynchings that happened, pregnant women being lynched in the past, hung by trees, their babies coming out of them and being stomped in the ground, white America wasn't offended. Emmett Till, white America wasn't offended. Sandra Bland, white America wasn't offended. Freddie Gray, Trayvon. Matter of fact, as usual, whether it's modern lynchings or historical lynchings, as usual, just like yesterday and today, white America is busy defending the perpetrators of racism, of white supremacy. So when I say we are a white supremacist nation, just look at the facts. What offends white America is when a football player kneels during the national anthem. Not when a black man is executed in the street by a racist police officer because that racist police officer only sees a stereotype of a criminal. And this is why black people have always been killed. They don't see their humanity. They see them as a racist stereotype. This is why black and brown folks have always been murdered. Reservations today, the Trail of Tears, Andrew Jackson on our currency. Why is that racist for Andrew Jackson on our currency? Because we celebrate racist. Collectively, culturally, as a people, white America has, what we're good at is apathy toward people of color, toward marginalized people. We're good at denial. We're good at projecting our racism back onto people of color, back onto brown and black folks. We pretend that many white people today, even today, pretend they live under black or brown supremacy, that there's some sort of black or brown supremacy that's oppressing them, that black people are more racist and have more power over white people than white people. The system of white supremacy operates, they pretend that it's a black and brown system, somehow suppressing them. White people are psychotic, socially and mentally psychotic. And from a racial point of view, in the context of race, they are psychotic, literally. And Trump is their psychopathic leader. You look at Obama, an eloquent, charming, gentle, beautiful human being, not a scandal, adored his family, was all about unity, solidarity. Then you look at Trump. Look at all the racist things he said. Look at all the racist, what a Nazi in the White House. White America has their hypocrisy, they have their apathy, they have their white supremacy, and they have their white supremacist leader, and they're happy. The only thing good is coming out of the closet. The racism is showing, and that's always better than covert racism, because now we know who you are.
Yes, truly, this is the cutting edge man, Collage of Blackness, we call this program here, yes. Brothers, say, a man asked me to play the next tune last week, and I never remember until just a while ago when I played the other one there. I said, but wait, a man will ask me to play this tune here. Him say, Muta, you're going like you know want to play your tune them, you know, but you have to play your own tune them. Yeah, I know that, but you don't know them where they are, you know. It's like me not like watch myself on TV. Me not like really listen to myself. But him ask to play this tune and we're going to play it. Yours truly, here goes. This is the cutting edge, and I refer me there with you. We want to give you this lady, the late great Maya Angelou. Yes. Listen.
I don't ask the Foreign Legion or anyone to win my freedom or to fight my battle better than I can. Though there's one thing that I cry for, I believe enough to die for. That is every man's responsibility to man. I'm afraid they'll have to prove first that they'll watch the black man move first, then follow him with faith to kingdom come. This rocky road's not paved for us, so I'll believe in liberals' aid for us when I see a white man load a black man's gun.
Yo, I want to put hear that poem there. The late great Maya Angelou, you know. She talk about white liberals. The poem is about white liberals. And she believe in a justice and for everybody and thing. But she will... I will play this poem again, you know. Believe you, I will play this poem again. Maybe you missed it the first time.
I don't ask the Foreign Legion or anyone to win my freedom or to fight my battle better than I can. Though there's one thing that I cry for, I believe enough to die for. That is every man's responsibility to man. I'm afraid they'll have to prove first that they'll watch the black man move first, then follow him with faith to kingdom come. This rocky road's not paved for us, so I'll believe in liberals' aid for us when I see a white man load a black man's gun.
Yeah, operator. Sending some call still. Yes, sending some call. It's kind of difficult to break the momentum or the how we set it out for taking the call and put talk something else other than what we are dealing with that stuff. But that's how it goes. The poet, when somebody asks, the poet named John Trudell, Johntrudell, a Native American poet, him named John Trudell, okay? You can just YouTube him or Google him whatsoever, and you will find out about him. Here goes.
Dear woman in the audience, black women, white women, Chicano women, do you know who you are? No, you don't know. Do you think that you are measurements? I'm 36, 23, and 36. What does that mean to you? You got a fine frame. Isn't that beautiful? So what does that make you? Does that make you a thing? Shake that thing. Give me that thing. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. I'm not trying to be funny. I want your thing. What are you saying? You've been reduced to nothing, to a thing, to a piece of meat. And just like a wise person that goes to a meat store says, bring that meat out from in the counter. Let me see what I'm getting here. And you turn it over. Now that's the one I want. Weigh it up, I'll take it. This is what women have become. Women are too important to be allowed to be degenerate. Do you know who you are? Each woman is more than flesh. She is created by the Creator in such a magnificent way that she is a replication of the womb of creation. Listen. The woman is the replication of the womb out of which Allah said be, and created sun, moon, stars, and all things. But from the womb of a woman, if God's hand is over that womb, you can, with the help of God, produce a Genghis Khan, a Napoleon, a Hitler, or you can produce a Jesus, a Muhammad, and a God. It's up to you. Yes. You are more than what they tell you you are. So much more than what they tell you you are. There will never be respect for life until we respect the womb that produces life. And as long as women are used and abused in any society, as long as women are denied their proper and rightful place, then men will never be what we should be, because a woman is the first teacher and the first nurse and the evolver of the race.
Yes, Cutting Edge, Collage of Blackness. That's what the program name tonight. Okay, here we go.
Honor yourself with fun. Working definition. Fun is the pursuit of joy. Activities that provide amusement and mental or emotional release. Do you have toys? In case you have forgotten, toys are things you play with just for the joy of playing. I play with makeup. I have so much fun making up my face that I have spent an entire day doing just that. We can get so caught up in the process of life, the responsibilities of life, what we want from life, that we forget to have fun. Life is a joke. It is absolutely hysterical. If you think about some of the things that are going on in life, you have no choice other than to laugh. Life is a game. Games are intended to be fun. But we work at our games and we turn our games into work. This is where toys can become very helpful. When you commit some time each week to playing and having fun, life gets much easier. Fun helps you expand your mind and spirit. It keeps you young and vibrant. Fun is absolutely free. If you don't have toys, you can always get naked. Just take your clothes off and stand in front of the mirror. I guarantee there will be at least one thing about your body that you can laugh at. If laughing at yourself is too traumatic, laugh at somebody else. I sometimes point and smile at people as I drive by. They are totally shocked. Sometimes they smile back, but more often than not, they look around to see who I'm smiling at, knowing it can't be them. We are so serious about life. We don't think we should smile at one another, particularly if we don't know one another. I have fun pointing and smiling at people. I have even more fun winking at men. They love it. If you do it just the right way, their face will crack with a big smile. Of course, it's safe because I can pull away when the light turns green. When was the last time you played dress-up or threw a water balloon at someone you know? When was the last time you had a talent show with your children or friends? There are so many simple things we can do to bring joy and laughter into our lives. You can miss the news for one night. You can finish the book tomorrow. The laundry can stay in a neat and orderly pile for just a few more hours. Right now, you need to go and have some fun. Let me remember. God is happy when I am happy. Life is a game that is meant to be fun. There is always time for having fun. Fun is the demonstration of the belief in joy. Let me remember. Today is a fun day. And for this, I am so grateful.
Yeah, that's Ian Van Zandt. The lady that you always hear play like.
This is Ianla Van Zandt, author of Acts of Faith. And you are listening to Mutabaruka.
Yes, Ian. Ian.
Yes, hello? Yes, hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Yes, sir. Muta.
Yeah, man, I hear you.
Rest in peace to Ian Bowen.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I'm shocked because you know what? That's why you're an amazing person, because when you guys was reasoning on his show, I'm watching it off of YouTube while I'm cussing, you know. You know what I'm saying? So I feel bad now that he passed. So that's why I say you're very intelligent, because you don't go overboard. Because I'm watching your patience when you're talking to him, and he's saying, so when I and I leave this earth, and then you said I and I not leave no earth.
You
know that. Yes, Muta.
We're on the earth all when we're dead.
Yo, but yeah, I remember because he's trying to why what you dealing with. So he said, but it is your ideal man. It is your.
Well, you know, man. Why him now go dead? You know, it's just weird that him dead. You know, it's like I think him now go dead because he's a nice brethren, you know.
Yeah, you know, but this is what's going on. You see this now? It's certain stubbornness, right? Because he could be you. It's like, you see how you eat very conscious? That's why, man, bless you, make the Creator bless you, make you stay with us another 100 years, because I feel like certain Christian-minded people, they might have beer, pork, and certain thing, you know, they might be still have a good mentality, but it's what they eat in, right? And they'll pass, you know what I'm saying? And even me, I'm trying to get certain American mentality out of me, because you know I grew up off of Burger King. You know, to come here, confess to you right now, you know, Muta.
You want to hear the truth?
You know?
You want to hear the truth? The whole of we are going to go. That's it. The whole of
you know?
One thing you're sure in life is how you're going to go.
But I go and sweet you. So I want the father all long still I lay down. I'm stand up. Oh man, you're a blessing, because you know you go through certain things.
You find it funny, don't it?
Yeah, well, father, all you say, let me see it.
No, but I want to tell you something. Lisa, I have a picture there now. Me I tell you, if father would have never seen that, he would have never seen that again. I lay down. He would have stand up.
Oh man. I love how you do subliminals, but hey, I have a word for you. Yeah. For your when you describe patois, you say with that beautiful word in the Jamaican dictionary. Yeah. Oh no, man!
Lisa have a picture right now, man. Me I tell you, if the father ever,
I'm telling you,
him supposed to, it will never sit down again.
Well, my Instagram is Fixed Gear Life. FIXGEARLIFE. So, and guess what? I was playing, I recorded a Bobby Culture live, rest in peace. I put him on Instagram, and guess who contacted me? And they saw Bobby Culture on the sound, on Downbeat Sound System, and guess who contacted me?
Ooh.
Bobby Culture's son.
Okay. Well, you know,
and I'm trembling.
The Instagram thing on go 50 odd minutes, it go 50 odd seconds, it don't go minute, it go.
No, 50 seconds, but that was enough. I put a little footage of Bobby Culture on the mic, and then his son said, I never saw my father like that before. Okay. My eyes get watery.
That good.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I said. I was able to meet. Sorry?
I post something, but I realize that now I go post because I don't go 50 seconds night, I go come out. Me just no bother, you know?
But Muta, I seen the one you recently posted where the man run up and down with the mic and him drop down. Cause him look like Papi Shaw before him fall. Him look like Papi Shaw already.
Oh, you see, real Mutabaruka you go.
Yes, yeah.
Mutabaruka, yes. Instagram page.
Yeah. You know, so I met Bobby Culture's son over Instagram, and he said, just bless me for putting out that footage to see his father. You know what I'm saying? And it's very shocking, because for years I was listening to him. Huh?
New York cold?
Sorry?
New York, is it cold?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just get off of work still, so I'm no longer at the vegan restaurant no more, so I'm at a different place, so, you know, I just take the train and ride home, you know?
Well, I tell you, I know envy you.
The fixed wheel, sir, the fixed wheel is so good in the winter because the pedals don't stop moving, so it's going to keep your body heat up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the fixed wheel is amazing, man. You know, I have a lot of old school yard man like them want to run me over and pull me over and say, yeah, man, fixed wheel, man. You know, it's an honor, man. Even because that's what I said. It would be lovely if you remember Fixed Gear Life, FIXGEAR-LIFE, Fixed Gear Life. If you could search me on there, I do a lot of funny little comedian videos. So I did a remix because the Hilangoli ride. Remember, Tiger did the Hilangoli ride. Hilangoli, you know. But I said, Muta complain about the Hilangoli.
The road and the gully, they don't complain about another hill. The hill them is quite.
Yeah, man, you're not complaining about the hill.
Anyway, we are going to move back.
Yes, King, one love, right?
Yeah, man, continue listen, man.
And I will leave you with a 5-second musical biscuit, right?
Yeah.
Muta.
Yeah, blessed.
Yeah, man. I saw Sado, my brethren, the great reggae singer, songwriter, and performer Michael Prophet passed away, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about this week.
Yes, on Saturday the 16th.
Yeah.
You know, about 10 o'clock in the morning, in Bedford. Outside of London, because you know he was diagnosed lately from having lung cancer.
Well, they have lung cancer.
Yes. Had lung cancer, and then the lung cancer spread to the brain, and had 4 tumors. You know, because Michael Prophet and I, we know each other from Jamaica, you know, through Yabiyu when he was starting in the business, because Yabiyu, Vivian Jackson, of the Prophets, who gave him the start musically with the first hit was that Heptones to the Top studio one that he did over for Yabiyu. That was his first hit, you know. Yes, and then later on, you know, Gunman, King, Here Comes the Bride, Loving You, you know, and many shows here that I brought him on stage as the MC, you know, and in fact there was a Gregory Isaacs tribute last year, October, where I brought him on stage. That's memorable, you know. I sent it to you on WhatsApp, that performance, but many other shows, you know, like the Wooten and Egyptian and so on. So what happened is that he was actually undergoing radiotherapy to shrink the tumors. Hadn't started the chemotherapy yet. He had finished it on the radiotherapy on the Friday. But, you know, Michael Prophet is a man who always slim. And he lost a lot of weight, you know, already slim and thing. And, you know, his cousin and I, Carmen, very good friend, because they're born at 21 8th Street, Greenwich Farm, Greenwich Town, you know. But he actually grew up with his grandmother in Davidton, Manchester. And incidentally, he and Luciano are cousins.
Okay.
Yes, he and Luciano are cousins, because Luciano was actually in Addis Ababa, in Ethiopia. You know, Liquor Dread, Esteban, my brethren, was telling me yesterday when he got the phone call a couple of weeks ago that Michael's sick, you know, the cancer thing. And we were really hoping for the best and thing, but...
Well, you see me with Ian Boyne, huh?
Yeah, Ian Boyne, yes. I remember we were watching the animal profile and things, and I know him always listen to you. Even when him do on phone, him always listen to you.
I tell you, man, I want to say, him write the best article about me in the newspaper, man. I mean, really good article. I forgot to find about the article, somebody thief the page. But you know, him write a very good article about me, and everybody knows. Say me and Ian Boyne always neck and neck, and Reverend Chisholm, you know, them way there. But you know, it kind of strange. You know, where Mandingo get cut off. Yeah. It kind of strange. because we hear him did come forward and, you know, I thank everybody for supporting him and all them way there. And then all of a sudden, we hear him gone. You know, it's weird. But there's so much. Anytime Ian Bowen want leak against a Christian, you know, him know leak against them personally, because him know say I only for the things them, but them say a foolishness. Him use me to come leak against them. You know, and then now sometime him want to come prick me. But people always remember. And him know it too. So anytime him put me upon it, the audience in program get big. But people will always remember me and him. I go neck to neck with other people upon it, you know, just neck to neck with the religion thing. And Reverend Chisholm as the next man who is a apologist on this thing. But yes, right, it weird. It's weird, you know. But me understand how my brethren gone. Man thing you have to go call back. I don't know what happened there, so I can go and play this tune until you catch back equilibrium and call back.
Blessed.
How is it?
But alive?
Yeah, man.
Oh, bless you, man. About a little piece of news still, but a little thing come about the second week of November with the CIA. Say one of the CIA man them on him deathbed. I confess him did.
That come like fake news to me though.
Oh.
That come like fake news. Like somebody conjure up that this time, you know. It just fakey, you know. And fakey. And everybody I retweet it and I read this and I re-put it, you know. But
yeah.
It's not authentic.
Oh. Yeah. I think, you know, I know if nobody not find it strange, visceral thing. Say a white woman with blonde hair I represent South Africa.
Yeah, because they might deal with rainbow country. You know, that Nelson Mandela deal with it, you know.
Yeah, but we don't hear nobody really set up. It's like it just passed and nobody not really see it.
It's not the first, yeah? And the most of them team them are white people. They on the team them.
Yeah. Well, I say if even if I say gospel, you know, in South Africa, you know, the majority of people them black. So one to the rest of black people, they couldn't find a black somebody.
Overwhelmingly black.
Eh?
They are overwhelmingly black.
Yeah. So them couldn't find nobody to represent the country. They must find this out of the minority. They must find somebody to represent everybody else.
White people are find them, you know. It's not. I'm saying white people are find them. It's like Nelson Mandela country is supposed to be a rainbow country, not to the flag.
Oh.
And Nelson Mandela decided that, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Jamaica, the daughter there should have really win. Because even the South African daughter say it, but as me I say, South Africa is what it is. You know, so it's the only African country on the continent will legislate homosexuality.
Eh?
Yeah, man. Legislate it. Means it's in the constitution.
Yeah, legal. Yeah.
The only African country on the map of Africa will legislate homosexuality.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So one last thing, though. You know, sir, I do the research where you say about the etymology for the word Jesus.
Eh?
You did broadcast people for research the etymology. Huh?
The origin of the word Jesus?
Yeah, the etymology for the word Jesus.
Yeah. And what happened?
What I find out still is like them I say, the Greeks them, it a come from Iosos, is it?
Yes.
And the sos in the word, it a refer to, it mean in a Greek it means good man. And when they refer to good man, the Greeks when they refer to good man, they talk about Zeus.
Yes.
And Zeus is actually a warlord.
The god of gods. the God of all the Greek gods, Zeus.
Yes. So when the people that wanted to said, Jesus, help me, Jesus, is really a war man, them call upon.
Yeah, well.
And even they said Yahweh too. He's really a warrior. He's the warrior God.
Because you have Adonai, and you have Elohim.
And the creator God in the Canaanite mythology thing still is the El Lion. He was the creator God, so them say after a while it watered down, as with origin, it watered down, and somehow this Yahweh come turn the creator God.
Yeah, the warrior.
Yes, I just want to mix up still.
Yeah. The whole thing is mixed up, that's why the people them so confused.
Yes, that's
right. They try to make sense so tight, and it's 5,000 years ago these things right. For a set of people who was never in the situation where we find ourselves in. And don't have the same thinking like we, because at the time when them are living. And we just take it slam bam, so like say, are we to deal with?
Mr. Awesome, man.
Give thanks, brethren.
Yeah, man, give thanks, man. Don't live up.
Yes. We have to know how it go. Okay. We just played the Running African tune a while ago. I play a little bit more right, Yeah, we have play a little bit more right. Just. Hello? Iel? You there,
Iel Muta.
Blessed.
Well, go on see Christmas now.
Cutting edge go on.
Yeah, man, me here to cutting edge go on, man. Last time I come up so far, Marcus Garvey show and come link here, show me one man, I say, I'm going to greet you, so you couldn't get to talk to me, And then I coconut great house, you remember?
Yeah, no, well, you can't talk to me now.
Yeah, man, I can't talk to you now, man. Come if you come back, come check you still, but should me go to the road now and the place gets so busy, and if you come in, but I can't find no space, kids to come find us, so I say, all right. Wait till one of them nights and I can call you,
Okay.
So what go on new,
What go on new?
Yeah, man.
There's nothing new under the sun, Everything in a recycling position,
I try to start get work up at the King's House as the president, that me can get some ganja contract,
You want to start work up at King's House?
Yeah, man, when me start, man, me I get some big contract, man.
I'm not a contract up at King's House.
No, man, I mean the ganja contract to exporting.
You will give me that?
Yes, man.
So why you not do it?
Huh?
Why you not do it?
Me can't do it from where me there. People, them are going to do it no more. I know me are going to do it. Me just have to export it.
Okay.
Me just respond to exporting part and pay the people them the money.
Okay. So when you going to start the that?
Huh?
When you going to start the that?
Anytime I'm going to need help to lead one demonstration, man. So after a demonstration, everything gets set and everything kick off. So you have a big pot of food to get fed,
All right, sir.
You're good, though?
Yeah, man. All right, man.
Bless up Cabo for me to all of them. Sunshine, everybody. Merry Christmas,
All right. Give thanks.
Yeah, man.
It is. Yes. All right. So, make me find this show now. We're gone in the Kumina vibes. Kind of the Kumina, Pocomania, the revivalist movement is a retentive element from Africa. Mixed up with Baptists and all these things. Find its root in a St. Thomas. And a lot of it still exists in a St. Thomas up to this day. Yes, the retention of Africa is very pronounced in St. Thomas. Just like how Haiti have a retentive element of Africa in it as a French colony. So is it that Jamaica has a retentive element of Africa in it as a British colony, and it reveals itself mostly in a St. Thomas. Hey, when I play the drum too fast, the drum I play too fast, we'll keep you away. We have to set it properly. Yeah, we have to set it properly. And come again. Phone call first. Yes, Iel.
Yeah, Muta. Yeah, man, the second time I call, man, you know? I'm going to call about 2 weeks ago. You ever listen to you always listen from your youth, but we take it up back full in on again and we find ourselves, you know?
Come again? Where's about what?
Okay?
No, where's your while ago? Repeat what you say.
Yeah, man, so I listen long time from your youth. I'm 23 and now still, but I listen from in high school and thing, but get distracted. So we take it up back fully as of this year, up in the year, you know, we take it up back fully and thing and go back over the basic thing then.
What distract you?
Just distraction. You have to work and more while just say you, the teen, we have got you as a teenager and anything. Not really, that's society.
You understand?
That's society, you know, but
well, come back aboard, man.
Go back and listen back and do basic thing, man. Get back knowledge and still listen to them all 3 times because them sweet same way, you know?
Yeah, man, give thanks.
Yeah, man, go call, man. I want to little incident I gave before we leave Jamaica. We'll say I grow here because it's in a sense to really cut it every minute. I will really find myself and love the African, African self and things. So, but there in the US and my brother call him and say, he might remind me like when you're Anthony catch your dog in a movie, you know, I say, I ride it.
My cousin, I don't know.
I say, oh no man, I just want video call with me. So the man called me, you put up one picture of the man to some year ago. The man called me, asked me, I tell me, say, if me not see them and kill black people. So I say, what my ear have to do with that? We want me to bleach my skin and grow my ear, see me, because them a kill black people, them not kill dread. They want to kill black people. They want to try to use them like a psychology. And then do the Christian mindset to make me dream.
Yeah, well, me know only for ones where only for man with the locks. People tell them, say them now go get them visa if them locks. And them cut off them locks and go to the embassy and them not get no visa.
Rubbish that, man. Them know so not go so, man. That's a way, so. Yeah. But, me not see, you know, for my family members support my view and how me been thinking and all of them things like all. Who come for research and, you know, I go about things the right way, because we're not holding up when nobody give it. Just shoot it down. So, see like how you say something and we go research it. I see like how them society bring things down and we go research it.
Yeah.
I just see anything, you know, we go research a Christmas tree, we go research a little Christmas, we go research a little Santa Claus. We go research them little thing that you say them there just an anti-story and we not go work with it.
No, an anti-story, that's fraud.
You can think for yourself. I will know where I'm going.
Yeah.
The knowledge, like we always say, you know, the knowledge better for who go seek it. So why not go seek it? Why go like say because your grandmother did say it, you for say the same thing.
Yeah.
When your grandmother never know better.
That's
that don't make you no man. That make you ignorant to knowledge.
Yeah.
What big you to work with, we can't get, like you always say, we can't make you greater than you be, you know, but you will look to, you know, although we find Africanness, we not say Selassie, you know, or you not say Selassie, you know, me I say Mutabaruka, he make me find myself.
Alright,
I know a lot in life.
Okay.
When it comes down to experience, because you've been there, go through Africa, and the knowledge you spread out, we can go research and find out more upon top of it. Yeah. And we give thanks for that. We really give thanks for that.
Yeah, man, give thanks, brethren, for come back on board now. Give thanks to come back on board, man.
Yeah, always have them lyrics there. Yeah, man, I want to big up my brethren too. I bring me back on board. You know, live up in there at Jamaica, them gone down to your little boy birthday party. There. I want to big him up. I want to tell you to them man there. Them man there, you might listen to it live there, you know.
Hey.
And me I tell you, you might listen to it back and do this thing again, man.
Again.
Yeah, I get enough of it, man.
Yeah, all right, sir, give thanks.
Man. Yeah, man, big up, man.
Ghana St. Thomas again. Count Azzy and the mystic revelation of Rastafari has been the ones them who spread the Naya Bingi, Rastafari drumming. First set of Rastafari go out there, authentically. and really play the music in this form. Yeah.
Blessed.
Yes, I
Yeah, one, I call some time ago. I tell you about a brother named Tat.
You what?
I call some time ago. I tell you about a brother named Tat in Egypt.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to find out if I said Tehuti what them talk about. Because them said Tat was the god of magic and science.
Tat or Tot?
Thoth.
Thoth, okay.
Yeah, so is Tehuti is he the god of magic and science?
Yeah?
Yeah. You know my question?
Where's it? You asked about Tehuti.
Yeah, may I ask you, yeah, is he the god of science and magic?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I don't remember.
Come on, try to put 2 and 2. Not try to put 2 and 2 together, isn't it? Because them just change up the name them for you know.
Eh?
Them just change up certain names for you. So I'm try to figure out if this same Tat is the same Tehuti.
Yeah, me say you catch me half guard, brethren.
Oh.
You have Tehuti and Tehuti.
Yeah, I want to find out if the two of them are the said person.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
But you can't find out. You can't Google him. You can't Google it, you know.
Yeah, I know, but the information on it's still cloudy.
It's cloudy?
Yeah, you know really, I'm sure.
So where you want to find it out for?
God, the book, woman that tell about what them said, Tat, is a brother with a bird head. And he is supposed to be the god. Okay. He is supposed to be the god of science and magic.
Magic.
Isn't it? In Egypt. But tell us that said Tat the now are from Atlantis, them same come from. Isn't it? And come at Egypt, come civilize the people them.
Yeah, but them things that sound like mythology.
Yeah, it could be, but it's a whole book.
From Atlantis and go to Egypt, we civilize them.
Yeah, because they might say, they live at Atlantis and...
I bet you some white man are right that.
I don't know what's going on. Them say them call it the Emerald Tablets of them say...
You know why I say that? Because in all history, them still don't want to give the Egyptian people them credit for the greatness where them was.
Yes,
them always show you some other, is either a spaceman or something from under the sea or something from somewhere come to make Egypt so powerful and choose black people. You say them don't want to actually say it's these black people create the greatness of Kemet. Them always want to show you something either under the sea or above the sky to show you that it influenced them.
We don't want to say that too, but you see, you know the Dia book from I read, the African origin of civilization, materiality.
Yeah.
Dia mentioned tattoo.
Yeah, but Dia tell you say some people from under the sea.
No, he not say that.
No, that me I show you now. Say anytime you hear them take away, them draw from the strength of African. Is usually a white writer write it. Anytime you hear them draw away from the strength, from the strength of an African black person, it's usually a white writer because them will never get credit that there was African people who could have built the pyramid them and all those greatness, know about astrology and all these things long before any Europeans. Them want to show you say it's not Africans them. Them show you the Egyptian them is not Africans.
Me not follow that feeling because they have tell us I said people them from the Nile Valley from down in the East Cape about street up.
We know where they have some man. But they have come show you scientifically say black people them in the tomb them man.
Yes.
And they have come show you that, you know.
But it's still about them are German mind a certain way to this extraterrestrial thing, you know. Cause they said the Diap, isn't it? They read a book named Matthew Netter, right?
Netter, yeah. That's our next brethren from New York, yeah.
Yeah, the Netter spelled Neter, right?
Mm.
You have, the date books, you have, they might show you a picture of the hieroglyphs, and you have this brother named Lord Netter.
Mm.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And in that, they might say, he was an Anu. Isn't it?
Mm.
So, me no presume, say, if a sharp name is Anunnaki, as what the white people, they might say, no, we don't find in a Babylonian, Mesopotamia, with this brother named Zachariah Sitchkin, and he do a whole thing on the Anunnaki, and them find some what them call cuneiform writing, what them are sure yourself.
From in Iraq there. Hello? Yeah. Right, that's what I go on, man. I don't want to start talking, so them credit done. The brethren did not talk about some different aspect of Kemetic philosophy and images. He mentioned Te'ut and Tat. The Tat is the one with the arc head. Represent certain things, say when Christians see these things, them say it's devil worship, and not knowing say the Egyptians them attribute certain characteristics of the human being to certain animals. You understand? Certain animals have certain characteristics, and some people it's like when a woman say man a dog. You know what she mean when she say man a dog? It means say promiscuous. Is a promiscuous person. We are up and down. She don't mean say him is a dog. That is really how it goes. So in an Egyptian, the idea is that you see these human beings with animal head, and then people start to denounce it as some little devil thing. It's not devil thing. There's a serious meaning behind it, why the individual is made with that specific head. So people have to remember that. It's gods, it's Egyptian gods manifest themselves with different heads, animal heads. So why you know that? It's not the devil worship thing. It's not devil worship, anything. Like all the Ankh. To wear a Ankh is not because you're worshiping the devil. It's Christians say that. And we have to reject these things. What is better to wear around your neck? An Ankh or a cross? Consider what the cross is. And consider what the Ankh is. The cross is an emblem of suffering and shame. It's where them nail, according to them, nail Jesus Christ pan. Suppose it was a case of them put Jesus Christ in an electric chair. Christians that walk around an electric chair around them neck. But the Ankh represents life. The male and female entity that is combined in one symbol, or one letter, or one word, the Ankh. The womb and the phallic symbol that represents the man's energy is life. Christians wear cross on them neck because Jesus Christ died upon a cross. It's madness. And walk around the cross like the cross of power. The Ankh is a representation of life. It's not a devil symbol. The Eye of Horus is not a devil symbol. Because the same Horus, Christian get them Jesus concept of it too, from traditions. So we have to understand these things, how them mix up and twist way up and confuse the people them in a certain things. People have an Ankh when they get up. I wear my Ankh I proudly wear my Ankh. Round my finger and round my waist and around my neck now. So I don't know how much devil I want cannot celebrate, so it's a terrible thing. We'll go back to Zephaniah. Yes, blessed.
Yeah, move.
I get cut off, man.
Yeah, and you know much time my phone and me just getting cut off and thing. But anyhow, yesterday Elbert Stewart of the Cables phoned me from Baltimore, you know, Maryland, because my brother in the Cables them, him and Vincent Stoddart and Cable Drummond. And, you know, he was saying, oh, people tell him how, you know, I tell people and write how the Cables do the first reggae, baby, why? So he said that he's willing to, he would like to talk to you to tell you also what I had said, you know, the same thing of how Baby Why was the first reggae in March 1968 at Studio One, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
well,
so...
that story I need to get right because...
No, me know.
Derek Morgan... Wait, no. Derek Morgan... Sterling...
You mean Derek Morgan, Stranger Cole and Bunny Lee.
And, what's his name? The producer. Bunny Lee.
Yes. And me you talk about that already too.
Yeah,
you know?
I heard them sit down in here and tell me that.
I know that. And me you talk about that more than one time when me tell you say, but that is not true. Because that was done October 1968 while Baby Wise is March 1968. Jackie Me Too create reggae with the organ shuffle, you know. And
so
it was actually Leroy Sibbles of the F-tone.
Thing wrong, so all the things are topsy-turvy. Because I can't vouch for none of them, you know, because I wasn't there. I don't take with it.
Yes, I hear what you're saying, but I personally remember why has been done coming out first before Bangarang. I remember that personally, you know what I mean? My music days, you see, as a sound system man, you know what I mean? I remember that personally. But I want to big up Leroy Sibbles of the Heptones who has to say, carry them to Coxo, Sir Dad, for the audition when he selected them to do Baby Why and what kind of world I am living in.
Yes, I know
that Morgan Heritage sing over us down by the river. And is Leroy Sibbles who play bass, Jackie Me Too play organ and piano, creating the reggae shuffle.
Freddie McGregor they on the rhythm too.
Who?
Freddie McGregor they on the same rhythm too.
Yes, man. Yeah. And the drummer is still alive, Phil Calendar, and Eric Freighter, the rhythm guitarist, great guitarist, he passed away. And Sylvan Morris, the brethren, as the engineer at the time, you know, Cannonball, Carl Bryan on saxophone, and Vin Garden on trombone, that's Dandy Jr., you know, I say, call up the musicians who were on that session March 1968, you know, where Jackie Me Too tell the whole of them where them play. So I can get Stewie, Elbert Stewart, for phone you and big up the other Cables them, Vincent Stoddart and Cable Drummond, you know, and thing.
Yeah, man.
You know. And him say, Stewie say at the time when Baby White bust out, he was living at Jamaica Street in Jonestown. You know, and thing. But you notice, besides Michael Prophet as the latest artist to pass, we have Ronnie Davis, Larry Marshall, you know. So, people really passing and thing. And I love the thing a while ago with Diop being quoted, where Diop show the African presence that we Africans are we are the original people, the Kimishans, where them call Egypt and them thing there. But as we know, we don't expect the racists to admit that our ancestors built the pyramids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to expect them to build that. But Ian Bine gone. Yeah. Man, always is one of your most devoted listeners. Even though
him tell me that, you know. Him tell me, say him listen the program seriously, you know. Religious.
Yes, man. Me know, man. You say it all the while, man. I mean, Ian is somebody who I knew personally too, you know, through media world and thing, and yeah, man, him listen to you seriously, man. And your thing, big up his listening audience, you know.
The last time I want to company it, him say, boy, you need to company it again, you know. You're ready again.
Yeah, man, because I know once you on it, you know, the audience swell, you know.
Jump up.
Yes.
I'm a break man. I mean, he'll give me too much, he'll give me a whole problem, but he'll defend me still. Against him Christian.
Yes.
Defend me against him Christian friend them enough time. Because him me I say, you know, it's not like somebody just has said things where him don't know. Him know me, that's why him always compare me with some theologian them when me don't know about, but him always
Yes, him know, because him study you.
Yeah,
study you.
Yeah, man, him could have write something, I mean, him did write something about me, but him could have write a book about me, man.
Yes, man, for real. Well, maybe he was writing one, you never know.
You never know.
Yes, so check with these people if him have any manuscript there on you.
Believe you me.
Yes, check, man. Check.
I never believe say I'm going to listen to the program, so man.
Yes, man, but you know, knowing Ian Boy, and I know he's the kind of person that to be listening, you know what I mean? Definitely, you know.
Because when him did that launch him book, you know, him launched it up at King's House, you know, him invite me, you know. And I did go. And him started to talk about me on the stage.
And you know what I remember about him in 2008 at the church service at Duke Street? He made a wonderful talk for my favorite singer, the Godfather, Alton Ellis, you know.
Yes, Alton Ellis.
Yes, Ian Boy made a beautiful tribute at that church by Duke Street, the Kirk Church there by Duke Street, you know, 2008, you know. It was wonderful. And he used the lyrics of, he used the titles of Alton songs in his talk, you know, in his tribute.
I was definitely there. Anyway, we have to move until 2 o'clock.
Yes. So just go and keep on the good work, because without Africans like us, our African race will be deprived of the knowledge where them need, where we need for us to be thoroughly emancipated. So keep on.
Yeah, Marcus, have you every time. Yes, so we're there with you. Go where, you know. Oh, it sounds like him still attack, so. Okay, him don't know. Matrix. It does sound like him still attack. Yeah. Matrix, what you do, man?
Good, man.
Yes.
So you mean you are going, like, playing time?
Me are going now, what you mean? It's 2 o'clock now, Bridget. Yeah. I want to know, man. You start so like me too, me don't have 4 days a week, you know. But you know, say, me can't, you know, say, me have to go home, you know. It's for me done the program Tuesday, me can't home, you know. I'll take bus come back, no guy, you know. Me just leave my wife in the car, so watch out, I'll take bus come, no guy, man. Yes. Because me can't. Don't get so dull, you know. What you just dull, you know. I'll tell you, man. Just don't like what he said that the first time me used to down here, they did have a theater down which part the what them call a plaza, they look at Indian them at sell jewelry right now. The plaza right in front of the craft market, they will have people that sell jewelry in there, the Indian them. And you have an Indian restaurant upstairs there. You know, you have a theater right there, so you know.
Burger King Plaza.
No man, go down, coming down more, man. You don't know which part of the mall there is, the plaza the man, what them call it. Anyway, I can't bother remember. I'll tell you, no Burger King, Sony name. A theater used to do that, so you know. Well, you're not going to know that. You know, just come from country there, man. I say country, I mean like deep country. You look like Arab, but you don't know where that's Jamaica. Believe you, you don't know, you look like Arab, so your mother don't look, no. I was your father, you look like, you know. Because your mother don't look no way like how you look, you know. I'll tell you, man. But, Lord, I have a nice theater today. So anytime I don't work, every time I go and go watch off the waterfall up a sharp part. So. I just walk, come down, I can go to theater. And then now just done movie and...
About 20 years ago.
More than 20 years, man. More than 20 years, man. From about 70, 73. That's more than... That's about 40 years ago. Yeah, that's about 40 years ago. Believe you. Yeah, about 40 years ago, that man. When we used to look at someone. You know, see, but... And even though up here, it never saw build up. But just to me, it's a movie, man. I love watch movie, you know. I mean, after you done work, I used to work at a place, Exchange, don't you saw? Right, on the bottom road, I saw a place named Exchange. Telephone company. I used to work with telephone company, you know. The time I get like $25 a week. $25, I'm saying, you know. The $20,000, you know, $25 a week. You understand?
And that usually could have covered your...
You can never cover nothing, man. When you make $50,000 a week, it can't cover everything, man. You know, that's how pay go. Yeah, man, look how much pay you get, man. It can't cover everything. Because the more money you have, the more things you have to spend for it, you know. I don't say a money name, you know. Don't need name. Because you can get a $10 life, you know. You can get a $100 life, and you can get a $1,000 life, and you can get a $100,000 life in Jamaica. Yeah, man, in Jamaica you can get by the scores, by tens, you can multiply it. So a man can get a $10 life in Jamaica and feel good, you know. Why tell the man I get a $100 life and him feel good? You know, see it? And the man who get a $1,000 life, him feel good too. So, when you make a big money, like why I read from I pay you a big money now. And you're still not satisfied. Even though you get a big money. That's what you say. So, if you have $100, you want $1,000. And if you have $1,000, you want $100,000. I don't so the money's go. And money name, you know. Yeah. We call it Donny. Yes. So the more things you want, the more money you have, the more things you say you did want. You don't need it, you know. You want it. Yeah. Yes. So when all a girl have on her breast now, she feel like she wants a bigger breast. You understand? Remember first I used to say titty. Woman don't have titty again, you know? No. Woman don't have titty again, but now you could have said, boy, your titty look nice. You can't say titty again. Oh, what you talking about? What's titty? Not a titty. You understand? A boss. I don't titty no, a boss. You have to say boss. Or your boss looks so, you know? And you can't say it look big neither, you know? Because first of all, she want it look big, you know, but if you go say it look big, don't say a woman boss look big, you know. Just like don't tell a woman that she fat, you know.
You look like a bumper.
Yeah, don't tell a woman that she fat. If you want that woman have an argument, don't tell her that she fat. You understand? Fluffy. Well, nowadays it's fluffy deep. I never said it's fluffy. You know. No. You can't go to tickers. A madness that you got, no, you got. It's like you call a woman chick. Anyway, we're there with you tomorrow again. In the day from 2. Oh, yeah. Little more from 2 to 5:45 with the stepping razor, the art of war. So, give thanks to the moment, time, and energy. We are going to this tune here. As we are saying, we carry a journey of blackness tonight and reach to this stage.